Oop, I think it would help if I unmuted my microphone. Hi there, everyone. I hope you're having a great evening. Go ahead and say hello if you can hear me coming through the microphone. This is Allison Draka.
Hi, Allison.
Okay. Thank you. I think I see people still typing in where they're from. Okay. Oh, that's Kirk, too. Okay, we can hear you. Thanks, Amanda. Yay. Okay, so I am going to just move to the next slide here. Oh, you know what? I'm going to move to this slide, and I'm going to just turn things over to Catherine so you can let everybody know how we're getting started tonight, Catherine.
Well, hi, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we were going to start with meditation just to get synced up. Is that correct, Allison?
Yes, ma'am. That sounds great.
Okay. All right. Let's do that. Okay. Let's put all our thoughts about all the exciting things we have to discuss aside just for this moment and simply breathe. Let's breathe in a feeling of peace while giving ourselves this space right here, right now, to just be. With each inhale, we bring in clarity and light. And with each exhale, we let go of all worries, all stress, all tension. Let your face and your head and your neck relax. Imagine all your muscles taking in the air of peace and clarity. And each exhale shedding layers of concern. Now relax your shoulders down through your chest, all the way down to your core, your hips, legs, feet, and toes are releasing and simply being. As you breathe in the peace and out the tension, let your mind be still. Now from this calm and this still moment, imagine energetic tendrils coming out of the base of your spine, going down into Mother Earth. Down, 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 and connecting to her limitless supply of love, support.
I did already eat, honey, and I'm supposed to be listening to this conference call. That's okay. You can still be around.
Can we maybe mute that other line? Okay. So we're calm and we're still. Now imagine your roots glowing as this exchange with Mother Earth occurs, and feel your connection to every living being and element on the planet. You're home. You are loved. This endless supply of loving support and pure energy is always there for you right here, right now. Now from this place of calm, relaxation, let's open up our heart channels. Focus on our hearts. Can you feel your heart beating right now in your chest? Feel your heart beating with resonance, with the very pulse of life, with the magical wonder of the universe that is you, that is within all of us. Begin to visualize a great beam of light emanating from your heart as it sends out this love and the support and the energy out into the ethers, calming, supporting, and reaching out. From this place, from this emanation of our heart lights, we link up with each other across the planet, across the cosmos, creating a grid of loving support and intuitive alignment. Now let's charge this heart beacon frequency with Ubuntu. Let us together right here, right now, focus on the essence of the Ubuntu message, of a new world for all of us. A life of conscious co-creation, a life of wonder, inspiration, freedom, and ease. A life filled with laughter and joy and a deep sense of belonging. Ubuntu exists. It is the natural progression of our infinite potential waking up and working together. Really feel the relief the ease, the letting down of walls, and the gratitude for the opportunity to be alive and aware during this greatest shift in human history. We are together. We are one. We are the ones we've been waiting for. Let this fill you up and spill forth out of your heart and into the cosmos. And imagine it really going out like a grid and connecting with everybody else in our group and outside our group and people who are awakening and searching. Our focus will be answered in kind. Our dreams of a better reality will no longer be dreams as we live and breathe in the awareness that Ubuntu is here and now, as we simply and naturally tune into it and broadcast it out into the world. Let this pour out of you with all your love and gratitude and joy. Solutions to the challenges we face come easily and effortlessly. With the guidance of our higher selves, with the awareness of our power and the compassion in our hearts, we are together. Our time has come as we live right here, right now, in unity and resonance. So let's just take a minute to really feel this and send it out from our hearts, and then we can slowly come back. Thank you, everybody. Greetings.
Thank you very much, Catherine. That was beautiful. Nice way to get us started for our session together tonight. So, moving forward, again, thank you, Catherine, for our opening. We do have lots of things to cover on our agenda tonight. We've even added some things in the last couple of minutes. So I'm just going to keep this slide up, Star, if you're good with that, and then I can move through the introductions or however you would like to do that. I saw Beth was here for a short time. There's Beth. We can loop her in at the time of her portion. Sound good?
Yeah, I'm actually only seeing your picture right now. I'm not seeing the slides. I'm not sure if everyone else has the same view.
I'm seeing the agenda.
You are.
You, Star.
Not really sure how to switch over to that.
That's kind of weird. Better switch back for a second. Now it's there again.
In the center, can you see it, Star, now?
No, I only see your picture, but that's okay. I have the slides pulled up separately, so I can just go from there. So is it the opening, the agenda page?
Yes, that's where we're at. Yep.
Okay, great. So I want to start by just saying thank you to Catherine. Catherine is going to be our new energetic coordinator for the Ubuntu USA movement. As many of us know, the energetic, laying the energetic foundation is just as important as doing the action journey that we're doing together in our various circles. And Catherine was inspired to reach out to us and was very excited about taking on this role. And I think that it is a very important part of our process to have someone who is going to be helping us to open up our collaboration sessions through a guided meditation to bring us together and to help us envision the future of Ubuntu so that we can bring it more quickly into physical manifestation. Catherine will also be offering monthly guided meditations for anyone who wants to join in, and we'll be posting that on our website and our social media sites, and you'll be hearing much more information about that very soon. So welcome aboard, Catherine. Thank you so much for opening that up for us. That was a really beautiful meditation, and I loved every moment of it. So moving along on the agenda, I want to just make the official announcement that our website is up and running, and it can be found at usa.ubuntuplanet.org. And if you haven't already, I would suggest that you go onto the website and you check it out. You'll see, for many of us, you'll see your picture and on the Who Are We page. And if you have not submitted a picture yet, feel free to contact Allison, and she can help make that happen. Also, you'll notice that it's connected to an Ubuntu shop, which Euros has created, and the proceeds will go to the U.S. team. So 2/3 will go to the USA team here, and 1/3 will go back to the global effort with Michael in South Africa. So feel free to check out the Ubuntu garb and pick up a t-shirt or a hat to support the movement, and just to get our name out there, you know, start wearing the clothes, and so that we can get to increase as much awareness as possible. Other introductions. I'd like to make other introductions, so if you want to, I guess it's a couple slides down there. So I'll do the USA updates first, just a couple of quick updates, and then we'll do a couple of other introductions for new team members a little bit later. So we've had somebody contact us who lives in North Bend, Washington, and her name is Tamara, and she has some property in North Bend that she is very interested in using to set up an Ubuntu community. And she has several people who are already interested in collaborating with her to create that community. And I've been in contact with her a couple of different times, and she's now currently working with our implementation specialists to start evaluating the property that she has and what will be priorities as she begins to set up a plan for implementation. So that's pretty exciting that we're starting to get people who are saying, I've got property, I've got land, and how do I get this going? So it'll be really exciting to continue to get more boots on the ground. Another announcement that I wanted to make is that we had somebody reach out to us from the Vaxxed team, and if you're not familiar with the Vaxxed documentary, that is a documentary about vaccines that Robert De Niro was promoting, and it was actually pulled from a recent film festival because of the controversy surrounding it. But the Vaxxed team continues to go around the country and speak to large groups of people, and they're not just talking about vaccines. They're talking about a lot of the other things that we're aware of, like the financial corruption and just some of the systems that are really holding this reality in place that need to be replaced. And they are wanting to collaborate with Ubuntu to be able to offer people a new way of life. So they're directly addressing the issues that that a lot of people feel frustration with, and want to be able to say, and here's an alternative, and here's where we're going. And so we're really excited about the possibility of collaborating with them, especially since they already have large groups of people that gather to come see them, and we have somebody who's been taking the Ubuntu materials and passing them out at the Vaxxed presentations. So we're starting to really get our name out there and build awareness in communities that are already open and ready to receive the message of Ubuntu. The second announcement that I want to make is that we were contacted by NBC in Arizona, and they're interested in doing an interview and learning more about Ubuntu, which is really exciting. And I talked to Michael, who's willing to do an interview with NBC, And so we're really excited to see where that goes. I think it's just a matter of time before we inch our way into the mainstream media and a much greater awareness occurs about Ubuntu and what's happening. So Allison, do you want to talk about the meeting format and the next section there?
Absolutely. Let me scroll down to that slide here really fast. Close your eyes so I don't make anyone dizzy. Okay, so Star and I had the opportunity to chat about the future of the collaboration sessions. We know that many of you have given us the feedback that you're really enjoying them. It's that connection. It's knowing what's going on and seeing the progress that we're making in this natural it's almost like the gates are opening and all of these different opportunities are happening and how to stay connected. So we came up with a schedule that we hope that you're going to be happy with because when we think about this long term, we want to make something that we're able to do in a sustainable way. So we came up with the idea of the last Sunday of every month at 7 p.m. Eastern. This is when we're going to be hosting the collaboration sessions. Now, with that said, there's still going to be other streams of communication that come out, but this way you're able to set your calendars to know, oh, it's the 4th Sunday of the month. Tonight's the Ubuntu Planet USA collaboration session. The other nice thing about setting things up like this in the webinar jam tool that we are using is that I can set it up in such a way that if you register for one, you'll be registered for all, unless you go in and change those settings. So you won't have to consistently register like you have been doing for the webinars that the collaboration sessions that have been going on. So again, this is just the collaboration session piece. We'll still have the newsletters in place. We'll still do special broadcasts like we did for the website unveiling, things like that. But this way you can set your calendars and know when the collaboration sessions are going to be happening. So I hope everybody's happy to see that list and know the future dates. Thanks, Star.
Yeah. Thank you, Allison. So I want to do a couple of other introductions. We have a couple of guest speakers from our national team on the webinar today, so I want to leave plenty of time for them to come on and speak so that you can connect with them and hear their voices. But I want to make a couple of other announcements about new team members. So we've recently gained a new PR ambassador, and that's Beth Pollock, and she has extensive experience in public relations and has been the executive director of a nonprofit organization, and I think will be very helpful to us in many ways. So we're very excited to have her on board. Raquel will still be working in the PR circle, but felt that she just did not have the time and energy to dedicate to being in the leadership role. So she'll be working along with Beth, and we'll be introducing Beth to her role and what might be involved. And so I ask that you all wish her a warm welcome, and we're very excited about her joining the team. I also want to introduce Jessica Graff, who contacted us, and one of her side passions is doing podcasts. And so she contacted us, and Kat and I spoke with Jessica about the idea of setting up an Ubuntu podcast, you know, mostly for educational purposes so that people can really start to learn about what is Ubuntu, how might it look when it's implemented, how might the implementation process go, and then to learn about the specifics of the areas of focus that we have within our overall global umbrella, such as free energy, the healthcare circle, the education circle, etc., so that we can come on and have expert guest speakers come on and speak. And our thought, Jessica and I spoke a few days ago, and our thought was to have a couple of people on who didn't really know much about the topic at hand, and then to have the expert team member, and to be able to allow them to answer questions and really break it down so that they might ask some of the same questions that the public would ask about some of these topics. So really excited about the possibility of a podcast. You know, the more media sources that we can get out there, the better. And you know, I know for myself, a lot of the times I don't have time to do anything except to listen to podcasts, you know, or put my headphones in or listen to things while I'm driving. So I think that a podcast is a great idea. We're looking at starting with about 6 a year, and that may change depending on the popularity. So if you have ideas about podcast topics, feel free to reach out to me or reach out to Jessica directly and let us know your thoughts, and also let us know if you might be interested in being an expert speaker. I have a couple of you in mind that I'm hoping that you'd be willing to participate. I think the very first one will probably be Michael and myself, as Michael will give you know, an introduction of Ubuntu and talk so eloquently with his lovely accent and reel everyone in. And then I will come in and speak about the USA efforts here and what it looks like here in our country, and where we're at with implementation in terms of the USA team. But moving forward, we would love to have some people step up and be willing to come on to the podcast and talk about your passion and the service that you're offering to Ubuntu, so that people can learn more about it and jump in and join us. So I just wanted to make those couple of introductions for new team members for the Ubuntu USA team. I think at this point what we'll do is have Sylvia come in if she's ready, and we've got Sylvia here tonight. She is the healthcare ambassador. She has been with Ubuntu USA since its origins, and she and I have been working together since the very beginning of Ubuntu here in this country. And so I'm really excited that she's here and is going to be talking a little bit about the healthcare circle and how you can get involved. So Sylvia, feel free to take it away whenever you're ready.
Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good evening to everyone, and I wanted to thank you for coming. And it is a joy and it's a pleasure to be here with you tonight. I briefly wanted to tell you who I am, how I got here, where we are at, and where we are going. And as I said, I am Sylvia Bird, and I'm from North Carolina, married, mother, and a grandmother. I always dreamed of being a nurse from as far back as I can remember. But in 1991, I graduated as a respiratory therapist. It served me well, but the dream of being a nurse just would never leave me. So 21 years later, in 2012, I graduated nursing school and became a licensed nurse. I worked in a large medical facility, all departments except neonatal intensive care. I'm currently a nurse in the public school system. I work with special needs children who require nursing procedures throughout their school day. And I also work part-time with home health care. This year, 2016, I heard of Michael Tellinger for the first time on Gaia TV. I listened to him, and the Ubuntu philosophy resonated deeply within my heart. So March of 2016, the Ubuntu Planet USA coordinator was announced, and I was thrilled. And I knew that I would do everything that I could do to support this person. And in some ways, I felt that I would be involved in this, and this would be a part of my life for the rest of my life. So I was asked to be the Ubuntu Planet USA Healthcare Ambassador. And before I would answer, the first place I looked was inside myself for the answer. And as I looked, the answer was yes, with much joy and happiness. So I am grateful for this role, and I am trusting the universe in this process. And I'm not kidding you when I say that. I am trusting the universe in this process. So I wanted to tell you the first vision or inspiration that I was given the first part of March of 2016 was to create a healthcare sub-circle under Ubuntu Planet United States. That was met with some resistance, and it didn't seem that it was going to be possible. But remember, I told you I'm trusting the universe in this process, so I didn't worry about it, or I didn't concern myself with it. But I am very happy tonight to be able to tell you, and I'm very excited to be able to tell you that as of May the 25th, this vision has become a reality. And I will put that link in the chat box, or my chat box I think is different than your chat box, because when I wasn't a speaker, the chat box looked different than it is now, but I will try after I get done. So what I began to see and desire was that this circle would be a great way for people to connect to their area of interest. As an ambassador, it was going to be a great way to coordinate, bring the people together, bring all the people together in the United States, and now it's even expanded, and or in other countries if they so desire to be a part of the healthcare circle in the United States. That is no problem. So this circle will be covering all healthcare specialties and modalities of practice, and there are many. This circle is a place where we, the people, can get to know each other, where we can communicate, collaborate, and create together. This is what I began to see. This healthcare circle is aligned with the Ubuntu philosophy, guided by the unlimited universe. Sacred geometry, resonance, sound, energy, medicinal plants, progressive healthcare alternatives, and that list just goes on and on. It's unlimited. The focus is on happiness, well-being, living in harmony with self, others, and Gaia, and the Ubuntu philosophy, of course. So now with anyone whom I come into contact with, I strongly suggest, so if you send a referral to me, I strongly suggest and encourage them to read the Ubuntu Contributionism book. Watch all the workshops that they can of Michael Tellinger, read, learn, and all that they can, and see if this resonates with them, and then begin to share it. Because we need to form, and will become, and have become, a strong, cohesive group, circle of people speaking the same message. And that's what we want to do, is to be able to speak as one voice, the same message. So anyone, I encourage them to complete your Ubuntu profile, share what you do on there. If you know of something that you feel can help heal the people, then share it. And yes, if you have a testimony of healing, I would like for you to share that as well, because you never know that what you say may be the one thing that enlightens another person or causes them to be able to be healed. So be sure and share. I encourage that. And then this is very exciting, that as the Ubuntu communities are being formed, the people, the Council of Elders, they can see what healthcare resources are available, practitioners that are available, and you may be asked to join or to help that community. The possibilities, I see them, they're unlimited. Now, to me, that's exciting, and I know I'm ready to go to an Ubuntu community, and I'm sure you are too. And another thing that has come up that I would like to share is a question that was asked to me, and it was also a question that I had. So I decided to get an answer to this question. And the question was, when you go on to the Ubuntu Planet platform or website, or and you see the COEO network, and then you see Ubuntu Planet, And on the CEO network, there's also a health circle. So I sent the question to Matt Dow, who is the web developer, and I asked him, what is the difference between the two? Because I wanted to know, because the circle had been formed now, the circle that I had created had been formed. And he sent back to me and he said that the CEO network is what he called the platform before he became involved with Ubuntu. But other groups and movements use it. They use it as well. And his idea was to bring the supporters of many different groups, such as Ubuntu, together. For example, Ubuntu supporters can post in the healthcare circle on the CEO network, and I have done that. I have gone out there and shared information in that area. But at the same time, that same healthcare circle is also available via other groups and websites in the network. And he said that it might be easier for me to understand if he explained it to me in person. But I did want to try to share that because as I went around, I could see there were several health circles. And one is part of the CEO network, and of course then mine is the Ubuntu Planet, and it is a sub-circle to the United States. So this is very exciting. At that point, Matt Dow has asked to speak with me about the Ubuntu Planet United States Healthcare Circle, as he has some ideas about making this more than just another circle. He's thinking more along the lines of a whole healthcare website. Now that's really exciting. I think the momentum just increased, but I'm going to meet with him. He's not going to be available for about another week, and I'm going to explore his ideas, and I see this as an opportunity, and I'm going to see it as an opportunity. It may be to increase the momentum for the healthcare circle. I think it's wonderful to connect with people that have the energy and passion to forward the movement, and I know that Matt Dowell works with Michael Tellinger, because on the London workshop that Michael Tellinger did, Michael actually introduced him by name, and the camera went to him, and Michael was thanking him for the several years that he's been with him and working with him. So, but after meeting with him, I will follow up with Star, our USA coordinator, and see where we need to go from there. And this is the last thing I have to say, and I just wanted to say that, so anyway, I did want to say I don't see the Ubuntu Planet United States Healthcare Circle going away. I just see it being another piece, another part. And after the explanation that he gave to me about the CEO network platform. So the last thing I wanted to say is that since all things are interconnected, and I see all these circles as being interconnected, I just wanted to suggest to all the ambassadors out there to set up a sub-circle under the United States or whatever country that you live in on the global site. I think it will help the people. It will help me. This is a great resource. Anyone, if they start looking for something particularly, it would just be a valuable piece. So I just wanted to encourage anyone, all the ambassadors, to do that. And I know the person you need to talk to if you have a problem setting up your sub-circle. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sylvia. That was a fantastic introduction to the Ubuntu Healthcare Circle. And like Sylvia said, if you're interested in getting connected, you just go onto the global Ubuntu website and you can connect into the USA Ubuntu Healthcare Circle. And I also agree with Sylvia that if you are a designated ambassador for Ubuntu USA, I would suggest that you follow in Sylvia's footsteps and create a USA circle for your area of focus so that others with that specific interest can join in as well and get connected and get involved if they choose. So thank you so much, Sylvia. That was wonderful. So next I want to bring Kirk in, who is our financial and legal ambassador, and he's going to give us an update about where we're at and where we need to go from here. So Kirk, if you're ready, feel free to jump in whenever you're ready to go.
Okay, certainly can. Thank you, Star. Well, we are officially set up with an EIN number, an employer identification number, which allows us now to continue forward with establishing UBUNTU Planet USA Inc. Officially. We're going to register here in the state of Pennsylvania to incorporate. We're hoping to do that within the month, if not much sooner, to try to speed things along as quick as we can now that we have a course of which state we're choosing. We will be having Star being our president. We will be having Susan Jameson, if others are familiar with that name. She's been assisting with UBUNTU, who will be our vice president. And then Allison, I'm going to say your last name wrong, but Draka will be our secretary, and I will be the treasurer, equivalent CFO for it as we start. And there might be additional roles that expand as we go along, but just to get us running, that's our core team of the organization that will be filing here in Pennsylvania. Now that we have the EIN number, we are looking forward to setting up a bank account so that we can get funding put in place with any fundraising opportunities via any vehicle that we choose, PayPal being one of them that we've discussed, so that we can have that linked right on our website. And that is something, Star, we can talk a bit more again even afterwards, but yes, we will want to move on that, and we can go ahead and move forward with an account probably without the articles of incorporation actually filed or even fully drafted up, because we do have the name. It's something we can just supply at a later time probably. It does vary by organization or banking credit union that you would go with. But the EIN was definitely one of the most important things, and then establishing where we were going to file. So we have that in order, which is great. Again, that allows us a bank account, funding for fundraising, so that we can get things moving forward here. Part of the additional process that we'll get involved in is filing for our 501c nonprofit tax exemption, so that we can have that and show to all states when we go to file, so that we can also get sales tax exemption in all of our states where we register. One of our big tasks going forward, if anyone is interested out there to join in on the finance side, is we will be needing members to help us register our organization in all 50 states, as well as any territories for the U.S. that we want to participate in fundraising activities and marketing towards citizens of the, or I guess residents of states. Say hello if you wish. Hi. So, yeah, we're certainly moving in the right direction. Definitely looking for any help and support in trying to make those things happen as swiftly as we can and as efficiently as we can. We are also looking for additional legal help and representation. I know we have a feeler out there for someone through Beth, I believe. I'm looking forward to getting more information and contact that way. But yes, anything finance related is certainly going to be my area of expertise. Donations, the involvement of the land here that someone's looking to utilize for the new community. That's certainly an area I will open up that will be interesting to get involved in, is not just funds coming in through fundraising, but if people are providing us assets. If you have an area of expertise related to donated assets, that is something I will certainly utilize and ask for assistance from others on. I have dealt with asset schedules and depreciation and stuff, but anywhere, that people have specialties. I've run the whole gamut of, to give a little background of where I've come from. I've graduated from Messiah College in 2000. I've been working in finance ever since. I actually graduated with a Christian Ministries degree, but my vocation has taken me in the accounting world and route ever since graduating, and I've kind of moved up since. I've worked in pretty much all the different kinds of lines of businesses you could think of, except for actually nonprofit officially, although I've worked with several and I've gotten to know people who have worked heavily within them. But I've worked in government, quasi-education, telecommunications, manufacturing, kind of the big hitter industries that are out there. But my passion has always been to help assist people in their own passions and to reach their own goals and dreams and to assist them in any way I can. And at least in terms of with businesses, I've been able to do that. We're working with all ends and departments of companies, from the daily worker all the way up to the presidents and outside vendors as well. So this is something I'm very heavily looking to spend as much time as I can on. Currently, still like many others, I'm sure, I work full time right now. Have 2 kids, 2 dogs, a wife, and but we're trying to make this happen as easily and as efficiently as we can. And that is ultimately the goal, is to be a good steward of any of the funds and or assets that come into Ubuntu, and to try to see how we can best leverage them and to make the best use of them in any way that we can. I do also want to say, in terms of, let's see, I'm just looking here, and no, I think that'll kind of wrap it up, at least for now, in terms of just a general overview of my background, and also for what we're looking to do and accomplish here, hopefully within the month, to get us fully and firmly established on the right path financially.
Hey, Kirk, a question came in from Christine. She asks, can a nonprofit be political, or is it just that the donations are not tax deductible?
For the nonprofit, for a 501c, they are not political. There is not to be any part of their main goals or application. There is a separate entity that we will establish to make that happen, and I will also be a part of making that happen. There's actually sort of a twofold to that, which is I know generally about, but I will continue to learn and leverage expertise on it. It's already been done, I believe, in other countries, very similar to how it's set up in the United States. But people have heard the term super PACs and that kind of thing. You basically set up the equivalent of an entity that is allowed to take contributions and use them how they see fit politically. So we will arrange to have some type of entity formed that will be tied to us in Ubuntu, but at least in terms of actual funds, and goals, there will be a distinct difference between those entities, that they won't kind of intermingle their monies, and there'll be different donations and designation of funds for that kind of activity. But the first part that we're establishing, the Ubuntu Planet USA, is strictly for the funding and promotion of Ubuntu living directly in the communities, in the social network atmosphere of things, not in the political arena. That'll be coming secondary to getting the tax exemption and the 501c established, to try to continue to promote Ubuntu, at least on the level that we're doing right now with our healthcare, with agriculture, with free energy. So all that is fair game in terms of, but once you step into the politics and donating money behind campaigns, that's a separate beast that the 501c cannot be a part of.
Great question.
Yeah, it is, because it is a very important distinction.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Kirk. I just want to let you know that that Kat has, and actually it may have been transferred to somebody else. Maybe Allison, you can help me out with this. We have a list of volunteers who are willing to offer their time and energy. You know, we have a lot of people contacting us and just saying, I want to help, I want to be a part of this. So you can get in touch with Kat, I believe, and get access to that list of volunteers that can help you to start registering in all those different states.
Cool. That sounds good.
Yeah.
And I'll probably be a part of, to some degree as well, just because of, on the finance side, the political people that are getting involved, in terms of the people that want to be on ballots and that kind of thing, because I've had some experience on the political side. Right now, again, because we don't really have an account quite established, but even when we do, you know, I'll still be able to participate in both involvements. It's just really more where the funds go. I mean, anyone that's a part of our 501c aspect, it doesn't eliminate them from doing their own personal pieces and or spending their time and efforts on the political aspect of it. So I want to just make sure people don't get me wrong there. It's more the funding aspect that really has to be kept separate in the delineation of how the funds are used.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much for that explanation. And I want, you know, we are not just a political movement. We are so much more than that. And I know that Michael is very focused on, you know, politics being the avenue into, you know, to pierce the fabric of, you know, the consciousness of whatever area that you're in. But I think that there are many ways that we can be doing this at once. One thing that I think is very important is actually getting some communities going and starting to implement Ubuntu so that the American people can see it in action and see how it's working and see that it is effective, because until that happens, you know, there's a lot of organizations out there that have these big ideas, and, you know, I think it's hard for people to really jump on board, but I think it'll be important for us to really get some communities going. And one other announcement that I wanted to make is that I think it's, let me see what the name of it is, Region Village, which is a completely self-sustainable project that's being started in Amsterdam. I'm not sure if any of you have heard about this, but it is a community that I believe it's an organization based out of California that is the design team. And Jeff, who is one of our implementation specialists, has recently been in contact with them, and they are definitely open to collaborating with us to develop water systems and waste systems and agriculture systems and communities that are both eco-friendly and self-sustainable. So, you know, as always, there's just a lot happening at once right now, and you know, what you're doing, Kirk, is a really important piece of the puzzle, because once we have the financial platform established, we'll be able to start accepting donations. We'll be able to start really kicking into some fundraising. Tom Rowan is our fundraising ambassador, and I've recently been in contact with him, just starting to get ideas going about how to really start raising some funds to start making this happen. So hopefully within the next few weeks, as Kirk said, some of these final pieces will be in place, and we'll really be able to move forward from there. So Allison, was there anything else on the agenda? Unfortunately, I'm still not able to see the slides from where I'm at.
The only other update we had was Kat's update, and I can pull out her key points. Okay, so I am speaking on behalf of Kat Lopez. I'm sure all of you have touched base with Kat at some point or another. She's absolutely amazing, but she was not able to get a working microphone tonight, so she forwarded her update, so I want to just quickly go over those. So Kat is our media contact, and what her main role is to really create an awareness around the different media outlets about what Ubuntu is, who we are, and what our goals are. And she was actually critical in that connection with the Regen Villages. So Kat is reaching out to these different organizations in order to link arms and begin to build these communities and build these media outlets and get the word out, and be able to share our message. Another key piece to what Kat is doing right now is that she's building a media kit. And she's working in collaboration with a few other folks on our team, one being Beth Pollock, that she is on our call tonight, our new PR ambassador, as well as Adam Bridenthal. And together they are going to be building out the media kit. So being unfamiliar with what one of a media kit would include, she did mention that it varies depending on the agency that we're talking about as a matter of what would be included in the media kit. But at the root and the core of it, it contains a mission statement and a vision, statistics, and accomplishments. So she's working together with Star. I know Star reached out to Michael Tellinger to see if any other media kits exist out there. Or does somebody already think this through? But Kat is running with it, and she's getting that organized so that when we do make these connections with different organizations, that we're able to implement some things quickly so that we can get our message to them and it can be shared with maybe some people who have never heard about Ubuntu before, or maybe are hearing about it in a new way, or heard about it 3 months ago but are now hearing it again today or tomorrow. So Kat is very engaged in that, and I did see her mention this. I know initially Kat was collecting a lot of the volunteer information. She now has not passed it along, but supported Cheryl with collecting that information. So do you want to put her email address in there, Kat, so that people can link to Cheryl if they have someone or if they want to volunteer for something? So we'll put that email address in if you know of someone who wants to volunteer, or if you yourself want to volunteer, and let us know what your skill set is, what you're passionate about. We'd be, there's a lot of work to do, so we'd be more than happy to bring you on. Okay, I think that's it. Let me just quickly go back over the agenda and just make sure we touched upon everything, but I think we did. That was everything.
So we've got a question, Allison, from Musa. She's asking, can we get a download of the USA collaboration agenda and the intro meditation?
So when you sign up, when you register for one of our collaboration sessions, I'm going to be sending this out tonight to you. Actually, I'll send you the recorded link, and I will send you the PDF file of our agenda, and there'll be some additional pieces that will be in the PDF that weren't in the meeting. For example, past newsletters, you'll get links to those, and past recordings of collaboration sessions. I believe this is our 4th one. So you'll have those links available to you in case that's something you want to preview. Okay, Kat says, hold on.
We have one other announcement by Susan Jameson. So she's saying September 18th, there's going to be a peace vigil in Central Park. Michael Tellinger will be there. And so that's very exciting that he'll be here on our home turf. And Susan is interested in hearing from any musicians on the East Coast who might be interested in participating. And she's left her phone number and her email in the chat. She can be reached at s.jameson, which is JAMESON, at ubuntuusa.org. So feel free to reach out to Susan if you know of any musicians on the East Coast, or if you're interested in being involved in any of the event planning with Susan.
Star, did we answer Amanda's question about the acreage or size of the North Bend, Washington, or the Washington land?
Yeah, I guess I missed that one. I apologize. I believe it's 8 acres of land, so it's not an enormous amount of land, but I believe that Michael Tallinger's book indicates that you need 5 acres to be able to build a successful community. So it's definitely enough land. And I think she's also looking to build a small community to start with people, like I said, that are local, that are connected to her, and just see if they can get it going and make the pieces fit. And they'll be working closely with our implementation specialists. And we may also bring Michael in to consult as we actually start getting some of these communities up and running.
Is there any update? Because wasn't on the last call there was mention, I believe, of land down in Florida that was like a huge, like thousands of acres?
Yeah, it was 15,000 acres in Florida, and we were contacted. I don't see Karma here tonight. Karma is the education ambassador, and this woman reached out to me and said that she has 15,000 acres and is interested in building an Ubuntu school on her property. So I think that Karma is working with her to take those steps, and I'll ask Karma to step in at the next collaboration meeting and give us an update on the education circle, because I know that's something that a lot of people are also interested in. I'm also noticing that Susan is saying Bolton Valley, Vermont also has some land and they're ready to go. So, we have a lot of people who are reaching out to us and who really do want to help us make this a reality. So I think it's a matter of just continuing to put one foot in front of the other and collaborate together as a group and keep our momentum moving in the same direction, and it will happen. So does anybody else have any other questions for Kirk or Sylvia or any of us?
I guess I just forgot to mention that I typed it in the message thing, but I'm in South Central Pennsylvania, so if anyone in that neighborhood, kind of Maryland, DC, even New York State, New Jersey, not without reaching, getting to those places if people are looking to get together and or form certain circles. But definitely trying to start something local here, which I encourage everyone to do as well, to reach out to your local community and contacts and start just kind of communicating the message and see who it resonates with.
That's great. And Susan is also saying to you, Kirk, that there's an opportunity to lead a new economic circle as part of the 11 Days of Global Unity. So that's maybe something that you would want to reach out to Susan about. Okay.
Yeah, certainly can do that. Awesome.
Okay, back to you, Allison. I think, I don't know if you want to cover the action steps at this point.
Sure, let me pull those up. And we like to cover the action steps as a quick reminder of the different, things that can be part of your next 30 to 60 days. So for some of you, this will be a review. Okay, let me pull it up here. Hopefully you can see that. Let me see if I can jump. Okay, so as a reminder, we are still on that campaign. Amanda, I'm not sure if you have an update on how close we are to those 10,000 likes. We're trying to really build that Facebook page up and to get it out there as our official Ubuntu Planet USA page. Continue to like and share the different posts so that it gets more footage or featured in the as we continue to update that page. Again, if you know anyone who would be a fantastic write-in candidate or a state delegate, we're looking for both of these different roles. Just to give you a quick picture of what each one is, the write-in candidate would be someone who is interested in being first starting out at the local government level as a write-in candidate. So they would need to eventually do a little bit of research on what are the open positions this November and forward, but we'll be supporting them. That'll be kind of its own segment within Ubuntu Planet USA. We have probably about 20 individuals, if not maybe even actually 30 now, that have expressed interest in this area from across the United States. It's a great way for us to continue to spread the message of Ubuntu and get people to say, what is that Ubuntu thing? What platform are they running on? The other thing that we're looking for, the other role we're looking for is the state delegate role. We're looking to have about 3 in each state. About every couple of days, I talk to someone who is interested in this role, and I usually hop on the phone with them, and we do have a description of this role. And this is a very, it requires some public speaking, requires collaboration at the national level to make sure, again, that one voice continues on from the national level all the way down or all the way through the state, and so that we stay consistent in the Ubuntu message. So if you know someone or if you're interested, send me an email. I'll type that in the chat box here in just a moment. I'm not sure if Oz is on to the next action step. I'm not sure if Oz is on the call, but he has put together a fabulous book review. I think he's on the second segment of that. I think he's kind of sectioning it up out to 30 pages a section, and there's a place for you to reflect on each section of 30 pages, and he adds some different videos to that. If you're interested in knowing more about that, when you get the agenda, the link to the PDF file, there is a link to the newsletter, our last newsletter, and you'll find how to access the book review. We talk directly about that book review. The other thing that can be done, is hosting a viewing of one of Michael's workshops. There is one, I believe it's from an Ireland workshop that he gave that someone had edited in a way that it was about a 60-minute workshop. It's fabulous. So get a group of people together, watch that workshop, have a discussion around it. We also have talked about evaluating your community, and when I say that, the way I've done this is, again, looking at what positions are open in November that can be run for election, kind of looking at the resources, what is already in my community that would be a resource, where are we in need, kind of doing my own reflection. But again, as we know with the Ubuntu contributionism, when we do build that team of elders and we talk about things as a community, everything needs to be agreed upon. But it's just kind of my way of wrapping my mind around where do I live, and where are our resources, and where are maybe some of our community projects, where would they take place. And then always continue to hold this movement in a heart-centered place. You will be also seeing, I'm sure that Catherine and I will be talking about her monthly meditations as well, so look for those in the newsletter, and as well as lots of other gems that come out through that newsletter. We're really getting a lot of people viewing that and providing feedback on the newsletter, so we're happy to see that. And if you have any suggestions for the newsletter, things that you'd like to see added there, we're always open to your suggestions and ideas. Okay, let me just keep going here and make sure we captured everything. Yep, so this is the set of links that you'll find in the notes tonight, the different collaboration session links from YouTube, as well as the previous newsletters. And I know Star mentioned this before, but Michael is doing a roadshow, as if you're kind of following that. He is in need for more contributions towards the election. Like Star said, grab a t-shirt. I know some of you already received yours. I'm still waiting for mine in the mail, but I'm sure it's going to be here any day soon. Okay, so that was it. So I think if you have any questions, please be sure to make sure you type those in the chat. I don't know if Star or Kirk or anyone caught any questions that maybe I missed.
Yeah.
I'll just pause here a moment.
Yeah, I'm seeing a private message that was to us. Do you need to be a citizen of the country in which you reside to be a write-in candidate? I'm going to say that that really depends on the state level. With going to the local stuff, it's going to depend by state. We'd have to look into where you'd want to do it, and you'd have to find out what the rules are. Because, I mean, obviously, I think most people know about, like, you know, the President of the United States has to be natural born United States citizen, but other types of offices don't hold that same level of qualification. So it's a great question, and I would say that it would probably be open depending on what position and where. Ed mentioned something too. What was the name of the group or organization that offered us assistance in building an Ubuntu sustainable community? I don't know if he's referencing just that there was that person that offered the land, or if there was something else mentioned about a group that was helping us to set up communities. So someone else might be able to answer that.
Yeah, so he's probably referencing the organization, because knowing Ed, he's probably wanting to check out whatever technology that they're using. So that was RenGen, I believe, that Allison posted the link or the website. I thought I saw it somewhere on here.
They have reached out to us, or you're just thinking that that might be who he was looking in? Because, yeah, that RenGen, it is that designer or whatever, and you're right, it is the United States.
Yeah, so Jeff has been in contact with them, and just to make contact and let them know that we're interested in collaborating with them, and they're open to that. So feel free, Ed, if you want to check out their organization. They have lots of images of their projected villages. And if you want to email me, I can send you a link. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Jeff. There it is right there. So Jeff just posted the link, so feel free to check it out. And it sounds like they would be open to specific questions if you had specific questions about their technology. It says, we have another question here. Will the printed materials be updated to include the new website address?
Yes, that is coming. Jeff is also doing that. So you can see we're the same, you know, we have sometimes the same person doing multiple things. So hang tight. Yes, that is on our radar. We'll get those updated. And then Jeff will, I'm sure, is more than happy to keep those posted on his website, but we will be moving them to our new website as well. So we will make an announcement when those are updated. Sounds like some are already updated, according to Jeff. Thank you, Jeff.
Another question, who do we speak with about discounts on merchandise, from Amanda?
Great question. So Euros is our global webmaster, and he's in charge of setting up all of the Ubuntu websites across the whole world, and he is amazing, but he's very busy. But he has promised us a discount code for the Ubuntu USA team, which I will be sharing as soon as I have available. I'll be sharing that with the team and letting you know so that you can purchase discounted books and merchandise on the website. So I'll let you guys know as soon as possible, and if I don't hear from Euros soon, I will nudge him gently and see if we can get that discount code sooner rather than later. So I just want to remind you guys that we are going to be moving to a once-a-month format for the collaboration sessions, just to accommodate everyone who's still living inside the matrix and balancing their old lives, I guess, with the Ubuntu creation. And then we'll also be meeting, the ambassadors will also be coming together and meeting once a month to really narrow our focus and to really be able to come together and share ideas and be on the same page so that everybody knows what's going on. If you're interested in speaking at a future collaboration session, please feel free to contact me or Allison, and we'd be happy to set you up as a presenter if you felt like there was information that you wanted to share about your area of focus. We'd love to have you join us, so just reach out to us and let us know. So I don't, Allison, is there anything else that we needed to cover?
I think we touched base on everything that we planned for tonight, Star. So thank you, everyone, for coming out this evening. I will be sending out the recording and the notes following our time together tonight. So until June 26th, be well, and we will be in touch. Have a great night, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.